We are drawing ever closer to the new Harry Potter series on HBO, and in a perfect world, the show would have the runtime to include not just the big plot points, but the quieter, more character-driven moments that truly flesh out the world. But after looking at all of the leaks and rumours about episode counts and runtime, I think it's time to get a little bit more realistic. As even with 8 to 10 episodes, as the books get longer, there is a lot to cover. So instead of just hoping, I have decided to look at 7 specific scenes that I think are crucial and must-haves for the new show. Obviously, there are more than 7 scenes that I want to see. However, in order for this video to not be about 3 hours long, I've decided to choose one key scene from each season. Let's dive in. So for season 1, The Philosopher's Stone, I really want to see Uncle Vernon's Day of Weirdness. It may seem a bit dull to start this video with a Dursley scene, and to be honest with you, I might make a full video about the Dursleys in general, because there's a lot to cover there. But I do think that this one specific scene could be one of the most important scenes in the series. The movie gave us a glimpse into the Dursleys' life, but the book gave us an entire chapter dedicated to this build-up. And the best part of it, in my opinion, is Uncle Vernon's day at work. This scene is both our first real introduction to the scale and influence of the Wizarding World, and character building for the Dursleys and their disdain for anything out of the ordinary. The celebration of Harry's survival is so huge that it's literally leaking into the Muggle world, simultaneously terrorizing Uncle Vernon. For the show, it's an absolute goldmine. We obviously have the physical comedy of Uncle Vernon trying to go about his day whilst constantly being distracted. And we also have our first glimpses of the wizarding community, with people in cloaks shaking hands on the street, owls zooming around in the middle of the day, and the shooting stars conjured by Daedalus Diggle, according to McGonagall. It establishes a tone, essentially, that this show can be funny, quirky, and tense all at the same time, and that is crucial setup in my opinion. Before we get into the next 6 scenes, please remember to subscribe to the channel if you like this content, like the video, and hit the notification bell so you're updated for any future videos on this channel. For season 2, The Chamber of Secrets, we have to see the Death Day Party. It introduces us to the social structure of ghosts, which shows a completely different side to Hogwarts and the Wizarding World in general, and it's wonderfully weird. It would be a moment that proves the show isn't afraid to slow down and focus on some of the more interesting and often macabre elements of the Wizarding World. Visually, this could be a standout moment. The black candles, the rotting food, the ghostly orchestra playing a tune, and the Death Day cake. The production design team can go absolutely wild and create something that is truly unique and original. For season 3, The Prisoner of Azkaban, I am desperate to see the Quidditch final. Okay, this one I'm very passionate about as a massive sports fan, but in my opinion, the movies did us so dirty when it came to Quidditch. The first couple of movies started strong, although we did only get 1 match per movie. But as the movies went on, we just saw less and less Quidditch. The Quidditch scene in the Prisoner of Azkaban movie was only about 3 minutes long, and it was cut completely from the Order of the Phoenix. The first reason I think it's important is because we'll finally get to see the Firebolt at its full potential in a Quidditch match. Now, Prisoner of Azkaban is my favourite Harry Potter movie, however, I'm sorry, the way they shoehorned the Firebolt into the end of the movie was pretty shocking in my opinion. And that final freeze frame that the movie ended on, the less said about that, the better, really. The second reason is the actual moment of Gryffindor winning the House Cup. And we need to see the entire match with the tension of the scoreline, the performance of the Firebolt and the Slytherin Slytherin's dirty tactics. But most importantly, we need to see the reactions. I need to see Oliver Wood finally achieving his lifelong dream and breaking down into tears on the Quidditch pitch. We need to see Professor McGonagall, usually so composed, jumping up and down in the stands, screaming her head off, with her hat askew and tears leaking behind her glasses. And finally, the sheer euphoria of the entire Gryffindor house as Harry lifts the cup. It's a massive character moment for everyone involved, and we really have to experience it, not just be told about it. For Season 4, The Goblet of Fire, I want to finally see the reveal of the Hogwarts kitchen. The movies obviously showed us the Great Hall, the common rooms, different classes, but they completely missed my favourite part of the castle, which is the kitchens. And this is vital for two reasons. Firstly, it's a major area for Hermione's spew storyline, which I think is massively important as it adds a whole new layer of moral complexity and social commentary as the books become much more mature. Secondly, it's a moment of pure wonder. The reveal of hundreds of house elves desperate to gift the trio with all manner of snacks and treats, the giant furnaces, and the 4 giant tables that mirror the house tables directly above them. It all makes Hogwarts feel so much bigger and more alive than ever before. For the show, it's a non-negotiable bit of world building for me. It's a warm, inviting set piece that contrasts nicely to the dark and dangerous Triwizard tasks. Oh, and it also features the moment where we get reintroduced to Dobby again, which is obviously crucial for that season and for the future of the series as a whole. In Season 5, The Order of the Phoenix, I'm desperate to see the St. Mungo's hospital visit. Now, not only is this more crucial world building, it's also probably the most devastating bit of character building for any of the characters in the series. Before we get to Neville's scene, it will be a brilliantly creepy insight into the wizarding healthcare system, and it will be fascinating to see the many wards brought to life, full of patients with different magical maladies and afflictions. We'll also be reintroduced to Lockhart again as he's on the closed ward, which will be a nice way of tying together the series as a whole and making things that happened in, say, Season 2 relevant to what is happening later. Then, of course, we get the devastating scene which explains everything about why Neville is the way he is. His bravery, his insecurity, and his deep love for his grandma. It's heartbreaking, and it's raw, and it transforms him in this moment from a comic relief side character to a tragic hero. And it really would be an actor's showcase, with the quiet, heartbreaking moment when Neville pockets the sweet wrapper that his mother gives him. It honestly is some of the most beautiful writing in the entire series. To see that all brought to life would truly be unforgettable, and it would give Neville's arc in the final battle the weight that it truly deserves. Season 6, The Half-Blood Prince, was a tough one, but I've decided to go with Voldemort's job interview with Dumbledore. For this season, an argument could be made for any of the Voldemort memory scenes, as they're all incredibly important and memorable in their own way. And I was very close to choosing the introduction to the Gaunt family, as obviously this is massively important for both Voldemort's backstory and also stuff about the Deathly Hallows in the next season. But as I said, I eventually went for Tom Riddle's return to Hogwarts when he applies for the Defense Against the Dark Arts position. I love this scene in the book so much, as it's the only time really that we see adult Tom Riddle and Dumbledore face to face, simply talking. The tension in the room is incredible, as it shows off Riddle's cool arrogance as well as his slow transformation physically into Voldemort. It also has Dumbledore responding to Riddle with pure power through calmness and showing extensive knowledge of Voldemort's movements that catch him completely off guard. It really is like a mental game of chess. Another reason this scene is crucial is because it's the scene where Voldemort hides the diadem Horcrux in the Room of Requirement. For the show, this would be a masterclass of suspense. It's a tense two-hander scene in the headmaster's office, with both of them going at it with phenomenal acting. The subtle power struggle between two wizards who perfectly see through each other's defenses. It's honestly crucial in my opinion. Finally, for season 7, The Deathly Hallows, we have to see Kreacher's tale. It transforms Kreacher from a racist caricature into a tragic figure who was loyal to the true master that he loved. And it makes his turn into willingly serving Harry seem so incredibly powerful and deserved. And the show can really go all out with its budget by using flashbacks. We could see a young Regulus Black venturing into the cave with Kreacher, the lockets being swapped, Regulus being dragged under the water, and Kreacher escaping. It would be emotionally raw, it would expand the Black family history, and it would be a standout somber moment of that episode and that season in general that adds intense depth to the final mission. So those are my 7 deeper cuts that would truly improve the Harry Potter HBO show and make it a definitive adaptation. So what did you think? Did I miss one scene that you're desperate to see? Or is there a different memory for the Half-Blood Prince season that you think is more important than the one that I chose? Please let me know down in the comments. Once again, remember to subscribe, hit the like button, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss any more updates for the new HBO Harry Potter show.